You talk about how to talk to faculty. Give us an example. When you sit down with a Stanford professor and you first start talking about the possibility of doing a MOOC, you might be dealing with someone who has a lot of experience and interest in educational technology. You might be dealing with someone who has none. Probably if they're at Stanford, they have a certain comfort level with their own expertise, and so from that perspective, they might be comfortable with the idea of being in a MOOC. So how does the conversation go with them?
You know, it usually doesn't start with a MOOC. It actually usually starts, and this is, I would say, the vast majority of MOOCs that have come out of Stanford began as a result of faculty interest in trying a new teaching approach in their Stanford class. So the flipped class has had a lot of momentum at Stanford, mostly because I think faculty, for one, realized that from an efficiency standpoint, if I'm giving the same lecture every year, this gets boring and it's not a great use of my time. However, if I am finding ways to use the classroom in a really active way, it's more exciting for me, it keeps my students more interested, I see gains as a result. And so that model has really resonated with Stanford faculty. And most of the conversations that I have with faculty start there. It's I want to do something different with my students. I want to have a classroom that is more active, it's more experiential, it's more whatever they feel like would be fun. And that's actually a really key point for us, is that when we go to talk to faculty, we talk to them, they say, I want to do something, but I don't know what. And we say, well, what would be fun?
Yes.
Right? Because one, it's a ton of work. And two, if it's not going to be fun, you're not going to be committed to it. You're not going to stay with it. The other thing is, chances are, if they tell you something they think would be fun, they're actually pointing to something that would be pedagogically sound as well. And so most of our conversations about MOOCs start in the flipped class, in the blended class, in the I want to do something interesting with my students. And then what's great is that, for the most part, a lot of the things that they develop for that kind of experience can be repurposed in some way or another as a MOOC. Now, with that said, I think that one of the big, again, as I mentioned before, one of the big downfalls of the MOOC is that it's kind of treated everybody's learning experience as this one kind of singular thing. And so we've just tried to translate our courses into MOOCs in this very kind of monolithic way. I think we're now starting to see more and more faculty say, I actually want to do a MOOC with a purpose, right? It's not just, I want to take these things and because I've developed them, I'll turn them into something and people will recognize me. I think now, and not to say that anyone ever was like that, but that is, people are saying, I actually want to reach audiences with a specific mission, a specific language, goal.